yeah, it was one of those where I wish that I had a bit more confidence to go past her. But yeah, it was amazing, to break the British record was incredible, and it felt so easy. Some of those races where it's effortless, that was definitely one of
Mm.
them, where I just couldn't believe it. I absolutely loved it. I think it was yeah, just I loved the kit I was wearing. I felt great in my Adidas kit. Adidas sponsored me. I loved Adidas, and the kit was awesome. And yeah, I just like everything was perfect that day. It's not many races that are perfect for athletes, but that definitely was one of them for me. Loved
Yeah,
it.
it's consistent. A lot of athletes say that. They say when they're at their best, it just comes so easy. It just flows, and you just
Yeah,
feel like you're floating. Yeah. So
yeah, and that was one of my proudest moments. Come from a little girl in Leytonstone, who had to borrow her first pair of spikes to get in a British record. Just like at the time, it was just something. When you're an athlete at the time, and all the ex-athletes that you've spoken to over the past while, Chris, it's only now you look back. It's only now I look back and I just think I was bloody good. I was an all right athlete, but at the time, it's never enough. Like you do that race, cross a line, and then it's the next race. You never allow yourself to really enjoy that moment because you're looking at the next moment. And that was for me. It's like, yep, got a British record. Now it's the Olympics, and you sort of become, yeah, your mind just leaves that alone, and you're mentally fixated on the next race. So, and I guess you can look back and you can think about how well you did, and I feel really proud of that British record for sure.
yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Before we get on to the Olympics, then I think the one to pick out is the 2004 World Indoors. I remember watching that one on TV, and you looked absolutely superb in that championships, and Mutola won it. Chet Blacker, you've alluded to, was second.
Yeah.
Um, but you were in excellent form then, weren't you? You looked
Well,
great at
I
that
was I
championship.
was in excellent form, but that morning I woke up and I'd always check my heart rate. So my heart rate is always low, like it's 40, now it's 42 beats per minute, like it's a low heart rate I have. Back then it was between 38 and 40, and I'd always check my heart rate first thing in the morning. The day before, 40, like spot on. I woke up that day and I felt really rough. I felt like, oh my god, I don't feel right here. My heart rate was 52 beats, so like a whole 10 beats higher, and I felt like I was coming down with something. So I was panicking a bit, and I thought, is this just nerves or is this me not feeling well? And I rang AO. I was like, AO, like my heart rate's 52. It's like, okay. I was like, honestly, I don't feel like I have any energy to even run quick. Like I feel like I'm completely zapped. I have nothing. And so we changed my whole entire race plan that morning based on my heart rate. And the plan was that I would be in last place at the bell, and I had to go through a lot slower because I just said there's no way I can go with them, run 57. So he's like, okay, hold back. You're just going to try and run 60s. Whatever anyone's doing, you're just going to hold back and finish stronger. They're all going to go off. You don't go off with them because we know you're going to die. Just hold back, be patient, be patient, be patient. So that was my race plan. I just thought I need to focus on that race plan because I just felt horrible. I felt like giddy, sick, dizzy, just like I had some sort of virus, and I just was really panicking. So I thought I just need to just focus on that. And I remember, was it Bruce Hamilton? Was it Bruce? Or was it Mark Rowlands? I remember saying to Mark, oh, what was it? It was something where I knew I was going to win a medal. And I said something to him, and he said, don't get ahead of yourself, Joe. I said, no, no. I said something about, I don't know what it was, but I can't really remember. But I remember having a conversation, and he looked at me and he said, let's just take it easy. And I was like, okay. But there was something really strange. I knew that I've never had that before, but I felt at peace. Like I thought, I'm going to run it this way and I'm going to pick up a medal. Anyway, the gun went and everyone flew off. And I was last in the first lap, last in the second, last in the third. And on that fourth lap, the bell went And I felt horrible in those first 3 laps, but just thought, just you're doing as little as possible. Stay calm. I was really at peace. I was calm. And then obviously with 100 to go, everyone was kind of clawing a bit. And I came through in the last 30
Mm.
meters, and I was running faster than anyone. And I could not have run that race any differently, I believe. I had to run it that way. And I obviously won a bronze medal, which was like, it was like a gold medal for me, because I just, yeah, it was, everyone who ever competes, they train so hard, their coaches give up so much, your parents give up so much. My sister had to change her wedding 3 times to fit in with my athletic season. Like, it doesn't just affect you, it affects all of those around you, and they make allowances for your training, for your competitions. And so for me, just to have something to prove that all this was worth it, was
Yeah.
incredible. So I just, yeah, that medal just means so much to me. And it was like, it's everyone's dream to stand on a rostrum, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved winning that medal, and a bronze. I'll take a bronze. I ran a PB, 1:59.5. Like, it was the perfect race for me, and I felt really rubbish as well. So yeah, that was, yeah, 2004 was a really good year for me, and then it all kind of went a bit pear-shaped after that.
Oh, well, but you did get the Olympic vest and you got to the Olympics that year. Tell me
I
about that
did, yeah,
experience. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, uh,
2004 was fantastic. I then got, after the indoor season, I sort of became a bit of a pin-up for Adidas and UK Athletics, and people were kind of like going, "Oh, you're going to be the, Olympic girl," and I kind of felt a bit of pressure, because suddenly I was doing lots of modelling and,
mm,
lots of kind of commercial stuff on top of my training. And looking back, I loved it, and again, it's my stage, and I love being centre of attention, and I loved kind of doing these little modelling jobs and stuff, but um, the realization of, oh my goodness, what if I don't get to the Olympics? And, all these people have kind of thought I'm going to the Olympics. And I suddenly didn't sleep very well. I had lots going on, and behind the scenes, and I was struggling to actually sleep. And I remember seeing my physiologist, Charlie Pedler, and he gave me a sleep monitor. AO was trying to get to the bottom of it. And they classed me as an insomniac from the time of April to July. I was getting on average 2.5 hours sleep a night, which is
okay.
not great when you're training twice a day and you're trying to, run quicker than 1:59. So I really, really struggled and struggled. And hormonally, I think I was out, because later on I realized I had fibroids, which are these non-cancerous, uh, won't say tumors, but these growths that women get, and it actually affects a lot of women, and some women don't even know they have uterine fibroids. Seems to affect a lot more women of color, but apparently loads of women have them, and they don't know they have them. And I had one that was the size of a shot put inside
Oh,
me, that
okay.
I've got a picture. I'll show it to you later, Chris. It's incredible, but because I
Oh, I
ended
look
up
forward to
having a,
that.
yeah, like, just have you had your dinner? But so I had that removed in 2005. So I think hormonally, it was a lot going on. When you're a woman, women who are listening, you hear me, right? You hear me. There's a lot going on. So so I had that going on, and yeah, and I think I needed to just qualify. And I remember going to the Olympic trials, and obviously the great Kelly Holmes, who I
Mm,
completely admire, was, an incredible, and is, an incredible woman. She and I were, the top two in the country at 800s, and I had not qualified, and because I don't know, I was either I was either not ready to race because I was feeling rubbish. But I remember having to leave it all on the line at the Olympic trials. I had to run, I think, under 2:01, or under 2 minutes. It may even be, I don't know. It's a long time ago, but it was,
Mm.
I had to run the time and I had to finish in the top two. And that was a lot of pressure going into that event, thinking, oh my God, I'm already like, I've already done the modeling for the Adidas kit. Like I'm plastered
Mm.
all over the newspapers. The Sun had designed a mouse mat with Jay Johnson and I on, thinking, oh my God, before the Olympic Games. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like if I don't qualify, this is so embarrassing. So
I
it was
remember those pictures actually. I remember they were quite
a bit
yeah. I think
raunchy, weren't
they were a bit raunchy. Yeah, yeah. I don't. It was almost like you were. Yeah, it was a bit.
they? Yeah,
It was very
yeah,
raunchy. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And they were. I think they were what you would call. Say they went viral if they were out
They
today,
did
wouldn't
go
you? Those
viral,
pictures.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this was all like before the Olympics and the Olympic trials. And anyway, cut a long story short, I finished second behind Kelly Holmes and ran the time. And then you know what happened to my sleep, Chris? I slept 8 hours. I slept like a baby after that. So the
Relaxed.
pressure of the Olympic Games, I'd never been to one. This was my year. I'd done so well indoors and people were expecting me to do well outdoors. So I think the pressure got to me a bit and it really affected my sleep. Plus, hormonally, there was lots going on. But I think knowing that I had qualified was such a relief. It was a relief more than anything. It was actually, I was relieved when I crossed the line. Not even happy, just relieved. Um, and then the Olympics itself, they were I mean, oh my goodness, like the most
But
amazing games ever for me.
yeah,
Mm.
tell me how it compares. Like, I mean, I've been to different championships, obviously, but the you can go to the Commonwealth Games, you go to the World Championships, European Championships, but the Olympics is not just one step above. It's just massive, isn't it? The
Yeah,
whole it's just an enormous
definitely.
occasion, isn't it? How do you cope with it
Yeah.
as an athlete?
Oh, well, as a human, you just feel like yeah, you feel like you're on another planet with these superheroes. I actually felt like I was surrounded by superheroes. All that, like you see so many wonderful humans who are either 6 foot, 7 foot tall. And we used to play the game, we'd see like the really tall players, and we'd be like basketball, and then you'd see like the tiniest, you'd be like gymnastics, and there'd be all shapes and sizes, all races, religions, cultures, and they'd all be in one place, and they would be the best in their country. And to be surrounded by those people that you'd seen on TV, and you'd pinch yourself to think, I can't believe I'm here. I'm here, me, Joe, surrounded by these amazing athletes, was like this. It was, it's almost indescribable, but it's almost like everything that you've done up till now has been leading to this point. I remember, from the age of 10 watching, the 1984, thinking all my whole journey up until this point, whatever happens, I'm here. Like I honestly felt like I have reached the pinnacle. Like it's never going to get better. And I really enjoyed the fact that it was in Greece, where it all started, was absolutely incredible. It felt, I mean, I'm not religious, but it felt, I don't know, like it was such an unusual. There was just this incredible energy to be part of that. I just felt incredibly blessed and lucky to be there.